ECSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download.
Excuse me, Mr. DJ.
Hey, check this out. We got a great show coming your way.
From the ECSI Sports Studios, it's the Midday Market Report with Jeff Dawson.
Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. It's that time of the week for the Midday Market Report. Good friend and colleague, Mr. Andrew McInnis. You can follow him at McInnis Picks and at Wager Talk. Headliner, what a run for the Jays. And I'm going to stay positive on this, and I know how gut-wrenching of a defeat that it was. I've lived it personally with the Red Sox, of course. I still remember 2003 like it was yesterday, but the American League East will be one hell of a division next year as well, as the Red Sox, Yankees, Tampa Bay, and Baltimore tried to dethrone those Jays. So first and foremost, a shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play, download the app, it is free. Travis, Zach, Guy, myself, Amber, Holly, Carol, Bucks, Matthew, Allen, the list is endless. Come on down and join us, the best community on X. And AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com, steaks, seafood, chops, appetizers, wine, you know the drill by now. Head on over to AtlantaSteaksAndSeafood.com. Without further ado, let's bring him on, Mr. Andrew McInnis. What's up, Andrew?
Good morning, sir. Just when I thought I forgot about what happened, we're bringing it back up again. But I have not forgot, and one hell of a run. But I literally have my voice lost right now, and it's all from celebrating / yelling and all the emotions I felt on Saturday night. And so every day right now I wake up and I'm sipping on tea and honey, and I'm reminded about the loss because I don't have a voice anymore. But a great run in the playoffs for the Jays.
You know, sitting back, I have a live filming session with WagerWire tonight for the Whip Around Part 3, hopefully debuting on Friday, and we're going to talk about the Jays and the ticket. They started the year 50, 60, as high as 70 to 1, started slow, and then they started catching momentum. Dropped as low as 15, 18 to 1. The start of the playoffs, they were 8 to 1. They sat back, waited for the winner of the Red Sox and the Yankees. In come the Yankees. You were underdogs, no problem. Then you were favorites against Seattle, who came over on a Saturday after playing a marathon game to get to you. They stun you and win game 1 and game 2. Now you're plus 6, 7, 800 in the books just to get through this one because you had 3 in Seattle. Somehow you win 2 out of 3. You get back home and you win the series. Big dogs against the Dodgers. Win game 1, lose game 2, lose the 18-inning marathon to go down 2 to 1. Now you're plus 400 again. And I said to everyone that wanted to listen, after an 18-inning marathon, when you then play back-to-back again, anything, you have no idea what's going to happen. Well, Jays win game 4, they win game 5, come back home, champagne on ice, trophy in the building. Lose a tough game 6, and then with 3 outs away in game 7. Take us through Saturday.
There's just so many different things to look at, Jeff. That first of all, I just gotta say, like, obviously it'd be way better if they ended up winning because of this, but that Bo Bichette home run was unbelievable, just unbelievable to watch. And he hadn't had a big play like that the whole postseason. He had some RBIs, he had some timely hits, but Bo hadn't had a home run in the whole postseason since returning back from injury. And for him to hit that when they were down and they needed him the most to come up clutch, and they walked Vladdy. They walked Vladdy to bring up Bo, and then it's like that Jordan meme. He's like, I took that personal. You're going to walk the guy ahead of me, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the home run. But one thing I think that I've learned a lot about baseball, and we already knew it, but it's the smallest things matter, and every fan's going to have something different to say about the pitching situation, right? Some fans wanted Louis Varland in the game a little bit longer. Some people were saying, Trey Savage, he did his job as a starting pitcher. Don't make him overdo it by being a relief guy, even though he's been unbelievable. And then you look at Hoffman, right? What he did in the 9th inning, giving up that home run. That's what he gets paid to do. That's what he got paid to do all season long, was to be the 9th inning closer. And you can't get the job done. But when you think about the pitchers and the solo home runs, you also think about the runners in scoring position, the runners stranded, and the offense. You got a guy on third base, Jeff, with 1 out. A sac fly, can tie you up and bring you to the 12th inning. And they don't get there. It's just absolutely disheartening, and you see all those solo home runs. It was like a slow bleed. It really was, like one solo home run after the other for this team. And then, of course, you got that play at home plate where a great job by Smith, takes his foot off the plate, then puts his foot back on the plate, and the Blue Jays aren't safe there. But I'm sitting there the whole time, Jeff, and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm saying to my friends, I think 5 is the magic number here, guys. This Bo Bichette home run's not going to win them the ball game, and I feel like right now we're watching Bo Bichette have that special moment. But that happened. What inning did that happen in, Jeff? Do you remember? Like that happened a bit too early.
It was early.
Yeah, happened a bit too early for that to be the game by any means. So disappointed, but I think when it comes down to it, I will say, hey, look, pitchers got to do your job. You can give up a single, double, triple, whatever it is, but the solo home runs killed them. But also the runners in scoring position, it's very, very tough. Like, especially not being able to get a sacrifice fly to move on into the next inning of extra innings. That was tough. With Vladdy gets a double, moves to third, and you can't bring him home with 2 tries. That was tough to see.
And the funny is, and I'll be honest, we had Dodgers to win the series. We had Dodgers in 5. We had Dodgers in 6. I didn't have Dodgers in 7 exacta. And truth be told, here comes a Dodgers team that came into the World Series 9-1, sweeping the Reds, only losing once to the Phillies, and then the Brewers, best team in baseball. Kind of similar to you, put the ball in play, make you make plays. They sweep them. And I, not saying I didn't expect it to be a competitive series, but I didn't expect it to be an instant classic. And I will say this out loud. You checked all the boxes throughout. Your stats, your runs scored versus against. You were making all the plays. You weren't making errors. You weren't double clutching in the field. You weren't turning singles into triples. And then you look at Game 7, the ball gets stuck into the bottom of the center field. And then you look at Paez with the bases loaded, running over Kiki, who looked like he was going to have to. I don't know if he makes that catch. Paez. So all those breaks that you were getting through the first 6 games kind of turned in Game 7. And I say this tongue-in-cheek. I said it in the alert that you get. I says, when the dust settles, I'm a numbers guy, you know that. When the dust settles, the books were telling you all along it was the Dodgers, and I was saying all along, well, if the light bulb didn't go on in June, it'd go on in July, or it'd go on August 1st or September 1st. Well, it went on October 1st. It shut off for a few days late in October, but it went back on November 1st and Saturday.
And I agree with you. And, the thing is, there were all those, I'm sure you might have seen like the quote from one of the Blue Jays reporters. He said, this is going to sound like sour grapes, but I don't think the better team won the series. And of course, correct me if I'm wrong here, Jeff, but in the States, it's the Fox broadcast, right? And that's the only broadcast. So that broadcast is supposed to stay neutral. And of course, the Sportsnet broadcast is the Canadian one, and they're the Blue Jays broadcast. So they're going to say stuff that favors the Toronto Blue Jays there. But when you look at the opportunities that were there, and you just described it with that unbelievable catch, coming into the game to make that catch, knocking over your own teammate to make that catch. But I always say this, if you're arguing about what it was that costed your team the game, that means there were too many things that cost them the game. If you can't decide which thing in particular cost them the game, and there were that many different things, then that's really a problem. But I'm going to tell you, because my friends and I were out Saturday watching it. We got to a bar like 3 hours before the game so we can get a front row in front of the projector. Friday, I was at a Halloween party, and we were all saying to ourselves, like, because I'm a Jays fan, but I'm not as diehard as Montreal Canadiens. I won't pretend to be, but I've been watching them all my life. And the sad thing about baseball is, and I guess anything single sport, it's not like the Florida Panthers and the Oilers that go back to back. I mean, the Dodgers went back to back, but we're thinking to ourselves, that me and my friends, like, when's the next time we're going to get there again? Because think about all the big plays. I think about even the last game of the regular season, Alejandro Kirk with the grand slam against the New York Yankees, and then the solo home run to win the division. Then you get the rest against the Yankees, there after the Red Sox. You already took us through the pathway. But so, we're going to be thinking, I'm never going to forget. I'm never going to forget Dean, the outfielder, with that pose, when the ball is lodged in the outfield. What could have been if that didn't get lodged? I'm going to think about what could have been if IKF didn't get out at home. I've been seeing so many people posting about what could have been, but I feel bad for certain guys that had such unbelievable runs. Like Ernie Clement, what a run for that guy in the playoffs, Jeff. He was unbelievable. The guy at the plate, so consistent. No big homers or anything, triples, singles and doubles, but so consistent. And, some of these guys, Bo Bichette coming back from injury, it was great to see. But I saw one stat, Dalton Varsho, in games 6 and 7 combined, I think he personally left 13 runners in scoring position. That's tough. One player alone.
I'll just say this, and I'm going to date myself. I remember 75 in Carlton Fisk. Okay, that was 50 years ago. I can't remember what I had for breakfast today. I remember 78, in the playing game, Red Sox had 9-game lead on Labor Day against the Yankees, and we had to play a sudden death game. Yaz popping up, fouled ground to Craig Nettles to end that. 86, Buckner through the legs against the Mets. 2003, Boone's homer against Wakefield. So these memories no one can take away from you. And again, it wasn't the Montreal Canadiens, but it was an epic run. You're the American League champs. You came 3 outs away. You got 102 days till pitchers and catchers report. How's that?
It's going to be weird. Spring training just won't really feel as special anymore because of what we just witnessed. But we got a couple seasons to get through and winter to get through before that. And I'm sure I'll be happy to be watching again. But the good news is the team was young. Even though they were one of the older teams, like average age, they still had a lot of their key guys were still pretty young. So I think the pitching staff might have brought the average age up, but a lot of guys on that team were still pretty young.
Well, I'll say this: the emergence of Trey Savage, The fact that next year you'll have Gosman 1, you Savage 2. You're not going to bring back Max. You won't bring back Bieber, I don't think. So you'll need some more arms there. But the big key to your success was the fact that you went out and you extended Vladdy, you opened up the checkbook, you paid him the $500 million. That set the clubhouse. You didn't come out guns a-blazing, but you finished guns a-blazing. So I was proud of the Jays. Great job there. And I know you got a show. And Dan, he's going to come in a few seconds late, so don't yell at me here. Pucks, props, thoughts we're going to get to. Your Canadians, nice start to the season.
Oh, I'm excited. All summer long, whenever you give me the chance, I would talk your ear off about them, Jeff. And I wanted to prove that hopefully what I was saying wasn't just my fandom for them, but it's kind of nice for other people to be realizing it as well, that this is how you rebuild a hockey team. This is turning into a successful rebuild. When you look at this Montreal Canadiens team, the biggest thing has been their top guys performing. I used to always talk to you about depth and how important it is for teams, and especially the Canadiens last year. You needed to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that from every team, every line. But the best part is right now, Gallagher hasn't really done much offensively. Anderson hasn't done much offensively. Evans hasn't done much offensively. But it hasn't had to be done because, Nick Suzuki right now, I believe he's on like an 11-game point streak. I think he has a point in every single game but one he's played this season. So whatever that is, Jeff. Caulfield, he's so young. He already broke the record in Montreal Canadiens history for overtime goals. He already has 2 overtime winning goals this season. Couple comeback wins for this team, but Demidov starting to settle into his own. And Jeff, I know you can speak to this for any single team and any single sport. They have the respect for the vets, right? So you can't steal someone's job right away. Type of thing. And Demidov was that young Russian that everybody was excited to watch. And just like last year, when Marty St. Louis didn't put Lane Hudson on the first power play unit until I think maybe a month or 2 into the season, well, Marty St. Louis didn't let Demidov be on the first power play unit because his excuse was he wanted to have 2 balanced power play units. And ever since he put him on that top unit, and he's on the right side, and Caulfield's on the left side, this power play is almost batting 500 right now. It has been unbelievable, and people have realized, hey, look, Marty, if they're going to score on the first unit, you're not going to need the second unit to score if your first unit scores for you already. So the key storyline of the season so far was that West Coast road trip. They got 5 of possible 6 points, Jeff. Could have been 6 out of 6. But some tough refereeing there in Edmonton. And the young goaltender, Jakub Dobish, he's undefeated on the season. I believe 5-0 or 6-0 to start this season off. So very, very good to see. It breaks my heart, though, and this is me being a fan and not really someone talking about the game as itself. I hate that if one player is playing well, the media always talks about the other guy that's playing poorly next to him. Well, they are having an issue with their starting goaltender, but hey, if your backup goalie right now is picking him up, it's fine by me. I'm sure they're both going to figure it out. My prediction, Jeff, is that by December, we're going to be talking about an all-Mark Swayman type of situation here with the Montreal Canadiens. I wouldn't be shocked to see a 60-40 split, 50-50 split this season with the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, it's good to have 2 good goalies. The second playoff spot, how about this? Islanders, Washington, Florida, Toronto, Buffalo, Flyers, Rangers, Ottawa. 12 games for all of them. Rangers, Ottawa, 13. 6-5-1 with 13 points. Your outliers are the Rangers and Ottawa with 14 points, and they had played the extra game. That was before last night.
It's why we love hockey because, look, I know it's early and I'm excited, but this is why we love the game because rebuilds happen. And I I can't sit here and say, look, the Florida Panthers have made it to the Cup Finals in a couple straight years in a row, and we've seen the exact same matchup back-to-back years. So I can't really be the full guy that says every year is different. But if you look at the Pacific Division right now, and those Anaheim Ducks, who you and I both talked about in the offseason, they look pretty good. And the Atlantic Division right now, I mean, who would have thought, you'd have Montreal up there where they are, and you'd have, Detroit up there where they are. The two Florida teams are down the bottom. Toronto's down near the bottom. I look forward to seeing where this is on December 1st when you and I check in. But as of right now, it's pretty good to see some new faces at the top.
Well, I know you got a couple seconds and you got to run here. A big slate. Your Canadians host Philly, currently at the Circa. Montreal minus 152, Philly plus 136. The Bruins at the Islanders. Bruins now you can get a plus 139. Edmonton, Dallas, a good game there. Tampa Bay, Colorado, good game there. But as we always get to you before you got to leave, any pucks, props, and thoughts for tonight's slate?
Jeff, I got to say, I'm having a tough time with the team totals this year. I started off booming red hot, and then we just took a real big bad swing. But I'm trusting the process here. We'll keep giving out our plays. We'll try and stay a bit low volume until we start seeing the board correctly again. But I think there's a couple good ones today here, and I'm not saying that we always bet the rapid revenge spots because they're not always going to work right away. But I do like the Islanders here. Over 3.5 goals, minus 105 against the Bees. I believe it's at the Garden.
It's in New York.
Sorry, it's in New York. The last one was at the Garden. As we saw, the Bruins actually have a pretty good game in that one, winning 5-2. But this Islanders team's actually proved to have a pretty good offense this year. And I'm not saying towards the end of the year they're going to be a full-fledged over team, but we have been seeing more out of them. And I think the biggest thing is it's not just their top guys scoring. They got a couple secondary guys, not to mention Matthew Schaefer, 18 years old. What he's doing has been incredible. So I have circled that team total over 3.5 for them. I'll tell you, if you want some player props, you got to look towards some guys on Minnesota today. They match up very well against Nashville. Hard to really jump in on a game that's minus 220, minus 200. But if you want to look at a guy like Matthew Boldy, over 3.5 shots on goal, you can get that plus 105, plus 110, depending on where you shop around. I do like that one quite a bit. One more team total we'll go to here is Florida and Anaheim. Another rapid revenge spot here. These teams just played in Florida just a couple days ago here. And I think that this Anaheim team, as good as they've been, there's two stats that stick out to me in the analytic department. Number one, their starting goaltender is the top goalie in goals saved above expected. And that stuff just can't be sustained. He is standing on his head every single night. But this team is the second worst team in the league in expected goals against. They're giving up chances every single game, but the goals aren't really going in. Against the Florida team and in a revenge spot in sort of that back-to-back games in a couple weeks span, I feel like they'll get the job done. And I'll tell you, this is the last game of the road trip for Detroit. A busy road trip for them. Somewhat of a successful road trip, I might add. I think Vegas first period is a good look, minus a half goal. We know how good they come out, Jeff, on home ice. I feel like this could be a good spot for them. And I'll take you over just to the CFL for a second. We went 1-1 over the weekend. I felt like we could have gone 2-0, but that horrible start for Winnipeg hurt us quite a bit. Montreal, Hamilton, the number is 2.5. And I'll tell you, I think I'm going to be beyond Montreal here. Their defense started to let them down a little bit in the second half. But this number tells me all I have to know. The team that waited for Montreal to play their semifinal game, Hamilton punched their ticket. They got their bye week. And all of a sudden, they're 2.5-point dogs at home. I like Montreal in this one, Jeff. I wouldn't be shocked if this one goes off closer to a pick. I think Montreal goes back to the Grey Cup this season. So I bet against them last week, but I was also betting against them because the dog was plus 6.5. And, the way that game went, it could have gone either way. But I'm going to back Montreal this week because I think they get the job done.
Now, circle quickly back that Islanders-Bruins game. Islanders scored 2 quick goals in the first, and then the Bruins ran off 5 there to win 5-2 there. Everyone knows, Andrew, to follow you at McInnis Picks, at Wager Talk, WT.buzz/A&M. It's Tuesday, $5 Tuesday, of course. And what else do you have to offer?
Yeah, $5 Tuesday, of course. And that weekend warrior special is what we have up and available at Wager Talk. For most cappers, they use it for college football and NFL, of course. I don't do college football, so you buy the weekend warrior special for me, $49. You get NFL plays for me, whether it's props, sides, or totals. And of course, you'll get both plays in the CFL for this weekend. Whether, again, it's first half, full game. I'll probably have action on both the CFL semifinal conference championship games. So $49 weekend war, you can get that, or you can get my favorite hockey play today for just $5.
And go follow Andrew in 7 minutes as he goes live on Wager Talk. So for myself, Jeff Dawson, Easy Sports Investor, the one and only Mr. Andrew McInnis at McInnis Picks at Wager Talk. You can see me and Andrew back on his channel on Friday. Everyone, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned.